So the idea behind not I, but the wind that blows through me is that like that instead of art being this individual myth of the individual artist being this great genius that comes up with an idea on their own, that these ideas never come from our own psyche, but our collective, right? And they flow through us. And when we're lucky enough to have a chance for it to flow through you and present it, it's important to like always remember that it is this thing that is just coming through you, not a property that you own.
Yeah. And Candice's work, it extends to non-humans. Your cat, Roger, you know, who is a companion, but also might be a great inspiration for your work and your practice, as well as the relationship and friendship with him, you know?
Roger, my cat, my beloved, is narrating his theory of the world. He's talking about his idea of trading a certain power and privilege in giving up his eros or his ball juice so that he can have security and food and certain kinds of privileges that other cats. And so a lot of the work I was doing around him was looking at relations of intimacy that also have violence, discipline, and control enfolded in them, and how they're mirrored in larger social ideas around sexuality. I think research in my work takes different forms depending on what I'm working on. But a lot of times my research is not like going to libraries or archives and it's hands-on research, like I was talking about material itself having a kind of knowledge that is embedded within the matter. And so by using it, I feel like I am activating that, even if sometimes it happens without my understanding. So I guess not how people would normally use the word research, but it is a kind of material research that goes alongside of like reading.
캔디스 린과 전시를 하게 됨으로써 또 퀴어 서사에 대한 서로 다른 방식의 표현이라든지 이런 것들을 하나의 전시로 함께 표현해 볼 수 있는 그런 기회라고 생각하고 그 작업을 했던 것 같아요. 피부에 대해서 생각해보고 또 작업을 만들어 온 지는 몇 년 된 것 같아요. 인간의 피부를 기억들, 개인의 서사 이런 것들이 녹아 들어가 있는 일종의 작은 아카이브로 바라보는 그런 시선을 갖고 몇 가지 작업을 했었는데, 그거의 연장선상에서 이번에 피부라는 제목의 또 비디오를 만들게 되었는데, 이런 것들이 퀴어 역사 그리고 개인의 퀴어 서사, 알려지지 않은 이야기들 혹은 굉장히 표현하기 어려운 어떤 기억들, 트라우마 또는 인생의 어떤 기쁨, 이런 복합적인 감정들이 저장된 그런 것들이라고 생각이 되었고요. 제 작업에서 중요하게 생각하는 항상 변화하는 역사, 새로 쓰이는 역사, 이런 것들에서 대해서 은유적으로 잘 얘기할 수 있는 그런 매체라고 생각했던 것 같아요. 비디오 피부라는 작업에서 저와 함께 협업을 하신 분은 𝘕𝘂𝘴라는 분이고, 지금 올해는 82세가 된 뉴욕에서 활동을 해오신 댄서이고요. 특히 거의 30년 가까이 머스커닝햄 댄스 컴퍼니에서 주요 댄서로 활동을 하셨고, 지금도 댄스 컴퍼니에 소속이 돼 있지는 않지만 계속 활동을 하시는 분이에요. 또 퀴어이시고, 저는 이분의 몸과 피부와 이 모든 것들이 본인 개인의 개인 서사를 기억된 어떤 저장소이기도 하지만 동시에 커뮤니티 역사가 또 그대로 어떻게 보면 저장되어 있는 그런 몸이라고 생각을 했고, 제가 컨스텔레이션 별자리라는 제목을 붙여서 계속 작업을 하고 있는데, 그 제목과 마찬가지로 좀 더 큰 작업 안에 다양한 그런 이미지들과 그런 오브제들이 마치 별자리처럼 함께 모여서 또는 흩어져서 만들어내는 그런 큰 이미지가 있다고 생각이 되어요. 특히 최근 몇 년간은 그런 에이즈 에피데믹 동안 사망한, 그리고 그래서 좀 역사에서 사라졌거나 잊혀졌거나 아니면 알려지지 않은 작업들을 또 저의 작업 안에서 다시 이미지나 아니면 드로잉이나 자수로 표현을 하면서 이렇게 새로운 내러티브를 만들어내는 그런 작업을 해왔는데, 많은 레퍼런스를 가지고 제 나름대로는 어떤 서사를 만들어내고 있긴 하거든요. 그냥 저 자신의 이야기라기보다는 나의 작업과 나의 삶을 통해서 잠시 내가 표현할 수 있는 어떤 좀 더 큰 역사의 일부분으로 몇 가지 작업을 남기는 것, 그런 것들을 어떻게 보면 그 이미지에서 드로잉으로 또는 텍스트나 이미지에서 자수로 그렇게 제 몸을 통해서 일종의 번역을 해보는 그런 과정으로 먼저 생각을 하고 있어요.
The sculpture fertility comes out of some research I was doing, thinking about reproduction and how gender, specifically femininity, was like imaged. And there's a lot of work I was doing researching smell that was looking at this kind of misogyny around the language of how we describe the sense of smell. And so a lot of times this idea of decay or rot would be linked to the feminine. And frogs often arise from this kind of swampy site of decomposition and rot. The frog also was related to research thinking about our interspecies, ways that interspecies are like literally shaped by our human interventions. So it's interesting because I think our work is quite different in a lot of ways, but there's like maybe surface similarities, like that we both often use natural materials like stones we find or fragments of earth or shells or those kinds of things. We both deal with queer histories, but maybe in a very different way. Mm-hmm. And drawing is a big part, I think, of both our practices, even though we treat it more sculpturally, I would say.
Looking at the works together and also trying one of your edible drawings and tasting it and all of that. So I think also like the artworks, the edible drawings becoming part of our body as well, you know. So I think that has been very interesting, to understand the work that way.
You come over and always bring like all these nice things to eat, and I'm like, here's a little bit of a drawing instead of a cake.
Yeah. Which I found always interesting in Candice's work, whether that being something made out of like herbs or different edible elements for drawings, or something that evaporates and becoming part of the air that we breathe in. Mm-hmm. And so there has always been this element in your work that the audience in some ways become part of the artwork, and then we digest or breathe in and we live off of that, right? Mm-hmm. So it just stays in our body. It colonized you. Yes. Yeah.
I don't think that the work actually comes from an optimistic or utopic place. I mean, it's not pessimistic either. It's just very realist. I think it's about, a lot of my work, is thinking about the frame in which we view relations, like to other people or to the world. And we're taught through capitalism this kind of extractive way of thinking about the world. So a lot of my work is proposing that we think in ways that are more about the effect we have on others, or the fact that no action can happen without, a converse effects, that we're like inextricably tied together. If you go down, I go down. So I guess like if I'm proposing anything, it's a kind of end of liberalism, which I think is going to end anyway. Maybe, sadly, after a lot more fascism first. But I don't think that this liberal mindset of like, oh, I believe in the diversity of things and I uphold it out of the goodness of my heart. It's not really like that the work is coming from. It's more that like a recognition of the most marginalized or the most vulnerable is necessary for one's own survival because we're linked in this way. So it's not coming out of a place of altruism or goodwill or whatever. And I think that mindset seems like well-intentioned, but is ultimately like harmful and is part of what my work is like dismantling.
I think we met your two friends, Young Seung Min, who's no longer with us. She passed last year. and also through another friend, Young Chung, who is the person behind Commonwealth Council Gallery in Los Angeles. It was at Youngsun's, I think. Youngsun was known for connecting many people, especially in Los Angeles. This group of Asian and Asian American artists always organizing something. And I remember meeting Candice at Youngsun's. Was one of the dinners that she was organizing.
So the title of our show, Not I, but the Wind That Blows Through Me, comes from 𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘥, and we were talking about what to title the show, and I had been thinking about the act of generosity specifically. I had been rereading Louis Hyde's book, The Gift, which I found when I was putting away Young Soon-min's library to get ready for the house to be closed. And I was thinking about, Kang's generosity, because Kang is somebody that's like always showing up for people and doing things for people, and was a big part of her caretaking circle. Is also in his work doing really important caretaking of lesser known people from queer history and those kinds of archives that would maybe otherwise be lost, especially to people in different nations that maybe don't know about the less known histories. So I was thinking about how these kind of intergenerational relationships are in a way like gifts or things that we're trying to make available to future generations. So there's maybe nested circles of this idea, one being the way that the artists that you are having dinner with and conversation with, sharing ideas with, the artists that mentor you from their lives and what they do are always kind of part of the unseen work that goes into making an archive or making new work that is trying to talk to that history. So the idea behind Not I, but the Wind That Blows Through is that that instead of art being this individual myth of the individual artist being this great genius that comes up with an idea on their own, that these ideas never come from our own psyche, but are collective, right? And they flow through us. And when we're lucky enough to have a chance for it to flow through you and present it, it's important to always remember that it is this thing that is just coming through you, not a property that you own.
Yeah.